Today we're in the beautiful Berkshires of Massachusetts. Hi, I'm Bill Stubbs, and this is Moment of Luxury.
Moment of Luxury is sponsored in part by GalleryFurniture.com. For over 28 years, Gallery Furniture has delivered furniture, Tempur-Pedic premium sleep sets, and home electronics across the country and across the world. Gallery Furniture is here for you.
A garden walk, a quiet talk, an ancient tapestry. Just look, you'll find your treasure and joy beyond all measure. When you find your moment of luxury.
Today I'm at the Mount. The Mount is a National Trust partner place and the home of Edith Wharton. She built it in 1902. She was not only a famous American novelist, she was also a design expert of her time. She wrote about gardens, how to decorate your home, and how to live and entertain in it as well. So join me in Lenox, Massachusetts, in the heart of the Berkshire Mountains to discover Wharton's beautiful home, The Mount, and enjoy a Victorian dinner party inspired by her novel, The Age of Innocence, and taste some scrumptious picnic food from that same era. Let's go find a moment of luxury. The day we arrived at Edith Wharton's home, 15 French designers also showed up to tour her beautiful country home. As you can imagine, it was fun to meet so many fellow designers. I can't wait to see what's inside. Isn't this a beautiful room? The scale, I could live in this room. Edith Wharton wrote a book called The Decoration of Houses in 1897. This book is a lot about simplicity. Hard to imagine that someone who preached simplicity designed this very, very ornate room. But this was not ornate in 1897, when women had ruffles from the top of their neck all the way to the floor. So this was a simple, light, bright room in the context of the times. This is a tremendous room. Edith Wharton wrote, "If proportion is the good breeding of architecture, symmetry may be defined as the sanity of decoration." This room has both symmetry and proportion.
Wharton's book, The Decoration of Houses, has never gone out of print because a lot of it is common sense. And I think one need only observe a visitor's response to this house when they first walk in, and it is almost uniformly, everyone breathes a sigh of relief and utters the words, "But I could live here." Every room has a magnificent view. The light streams into the house at all times of day. And the way the windows are situated, it's always easy to get a nice cross breeze and ventilation. And I think all of those things, whether one is aware of it, it has an impact. Wharton called for a return to basic classical principles of symmetry, proportion, suitability and simplicity. Those are basically, when you see the Mount, you see that reflected in every room. Most of the rooms are nearly square or more square than rectangular, and the relationship of the height of the ceilings to the size of the room I find sort of innately appealing. The Mount itself is based on a house of England, the Belton House, but it has very distinct French and Italian characteristics. Wharton loved France and she loved the French, and after she moved from the Mount, she made her home in Paris and the south of France and never returned. And she thought the French were born with good taste. She urged Americans to look to the French in terms of establishing their own style and aesthetic. And she had an amazingly keen eye and had very distinct opinions about how houses should function and how they should appear. Wharton's connection to the Berkshires was actually through her husband, Teddy. This was Teddy's family's summer home. She grew up in Newport, but she far preferred it to Newport because intense social schedule and agenda of Newport tired her, and she really wanted a place where she could go and find peace and calm, a sanctuary, so she could pursue her writing. And that's what the Mount really was intended to be for her. My moment of luxury at the Mount, the cupola up at the top. I would say I could take a visitor every day up to the rooftop of the Mount where Wharton used to stargaze, and from there you get a view of the entire garden and the lakes and the woods beyond. And every time I walk up the staircase, and it's a little rickety, it's a little steep, you have to open up the cupola windows and sort of crouch down, but as soon as you get out on that widow's walk and you see the gardens below you and visitors milling about and hear the birds and the sound of water from the fountains, it's quite extraordinary, and I never tire of it.
Edith Wharton once wrote, "I'm a better landscape gardener than novelist, and this place, every line of which is my own work, far surpasses the House of Mirth." Wharton's architectural compositions are certainly expansive and impressive, believing that a garden and a house should be designed as one. She created her own gardens as a series of outdoor rooms and planned them in concert with the house and the natural landscape. A combination of grass terraces lead from the house down to the Lime Walk, a gorgeous path flanked by linden trees. On the south side of the Mount is a sunken walled garden that Wharton called her Italian garden. This serene space has green and white plantings and a beautiful rustic fountain. On the north side is the French garden, with wide flower beds and a dolphin fountain at the center. Completing Wharton's vision is a rock garden with grass steps, a landscape feature rarely seen in the U.S. The effects that Wharton has achieved are not only a gradual transition from a formal space to a somewhat undomesticated one, but also the sensation of being transported to another country altogether. Edith Wharton loved to entertain, and she also liked to entertain outside, and with a garden like this, why not? I'm with Francine Segan, who is a food historian. Hi, Francine.
Hello, Bill. It's so lovely to be with you today in this gorgeous Edith Wharton.
It is gorgeous here. So you can tell me that at a picnic in the late 1800s, the early 1900s, what they were really eating and what was popular and what was in vogue?
Exactly.
Oh, fun.
So let's kind of look at this wonderful array we have. Let's start with something to drink.
Good.
So what they would have done is to pack concentrated lemonade and then on the site, they would have mixed it with some water that they would have gotten from a stream. And when they came to a picnic, all the elegance of the time period would have come with them. So they would have brought things
nice.
like beautiful silver salt and pepper shakers.
Nice.
And even little
It's a
sandwich picker-uppers.
tongs
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
Yes.
And then the sandwiches. I love rediscovering the delicious foods that they had.
Yep.
They would have made sandwiches with a wonderful minced pineapple and ham.
I like that idea, pineapple and ham.
It's delicious.
What happened to
and
that?
I know, I think we should rediscover some of these
Yeah,
delicious
exactly.
foods of the
Yeah.
past. That's one recipe, and you're gonna love this one. Jams were
Yes.
something that were adored
Yes.
in Edith Wharton's time and in the Gilded Age in the late
Sure.
1800s.
Now, that was a preservation thing, too. You could take the fruit of the season, and how do you
Exactly.
extend it as you make
Exactly.
jams?
Have you ever seen one of these?
Beautiful.
A
Look at
flat
that. Gorgeous.
spoon
Oh, wow.
for jam.
Really
So
pretty.
it's so perfect and so smart. So you can get a nice bit of jam, and
Yep.
one jam that they would have liked would be hot pepper jelly.
Really? Because I think of that as kind of contemporary, but that was back then as well?
No, or lavender jellies. Lots of interesting jellies, which would have been served on
Okay,
cheese.
do you mind? I just
You
can't
have
wait
to
for this.
Taste a little bit of that.
Pepper jam and cheese. How about wow.
And then what they would have done, which is kind of fun to think about, is take a fresh loaf of bread to the picnic and just cut it right when you're there.
I don't know, Francine. Take a break, because this is really good. Man, oh, man.
If you want to talk about some jams for a second,
Yeah.
I loved the jams of that time period. They used to make grated carrot
Grated carrot, I love
marmalade.
carrot.
So a marmalade, sweet carrots, marmalade, and then you would use that as a condiment for sliced meats. Delicious. And they would slice it at the picnic site, which
Yeah.
is so smart, so it
Right.
doesn't dry up.
Exactly.
And also because sliced bread wasn't invented yet.
Oh, okay, right.
And then you're going to love this.
What is this?
Another one of the jams that was popular was fig jam.
Ooh, yeah, I'm going to like
So
that.
just wonderful, fresh or dried figs. And then I'll make this as a little open face sandwich for you. And they would have taken this jam and then they would have topped the fig jam with something else that was popular at the time, which were chopped toasted nuts, peanuts.
Hey, love that. You like this with jam with a little nuts on it? I think
So
that's
it's-
great.
It's sort of a gourmet peanut butter and jelly. So you get the crunch and the saltiness of the peanuts and
Oh
then
my
the
gosh.
sweetness of the jam.
Try this. This is
It's
really
so
good.
delicious. And here's your little plate for
And
you.
that's easy, because they would have had china.
Oh, their paper plates weren't invented until
course. 1904.
There were also some fun salads that they would bring. This is 3-pea salad. Peas, pickles, and peanuts.
I'm loving this.
A lovely salad with a little lemon vinaigrette. Is that wonderful?
I am crazy about this.
The fat of the
I'm going back for more.
the fat of the peas, the little bit of the crisp and then vinegary of the pickles, and the crunch of the nuts. It's perfect.
This is the nicest combination.
The wonderful picnics of the Gilded Age would have also included dessert, of
Oh,
course.
good.
They loved sweets. And what I love are some of the little touches, like carrying your cake in a towel.
That's a great idea. Now, there's another green item.
And
It's
so elegant. You can
very
take out your
elegant.
beautiful cloths that you don't use for other things
Right.
and really kind of show them off a little bit. And then again, the wonderful
beautiful.
implements, this kind of
That is a gorgeous.
perfect cake cutter so that you don't destroy the cake.
Oh, my goodness.
I love all the wonderful
accoutrements.
of the picnic. And so the wonderful lemon pound cake would have been very, very common. And
Oh, yeah.
also to bring in your mason jar any fresh fruit
nice.
that would have been sitting in some wonderful, wonderful jam. So you can have a taste if you like. And also another
These
elegant
beautiful
touch.
plates. What?
Cloth napkins,
napkins,
not
of
paper
course.
napkins. So very green, very elegant way to enjoy the outdoors back in Edith Wharton's time.
That is a great pound cake. Francine, thank you so much for telling us all about how Victorians celebrated outside. When you travel through the Berkshires, it's hard not to stop in the many wonderful New England villages. Each one is filled with unique Yankee stores and old New England churches. I'm in Lenox, Massachusetts. Behind me is Blantyre, the beautiful hunting lodge built during the American Gilded Age, where we're going to have an incredibly special dinner tonight. Hello.
Welcome, Bill.
Oh, thank you.
We are thrilled. We are thrilled you're here.
And this is so wonderful. I'm with Anne Brown, the owner of Blantyre. What a magnificent place this is. Tell me about Blantyre.
Well, Blantyre was a gift from my family when I was 30.
Oh my goodness,
Absolutely.
what a nice gift.
And we celebrated our centennial with the Mount.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Blantyre means warm retreat.
Warm retreat.
And Blantyre was built by Robert Patterson, who made his fortune in turpentine. I am the 8th owner, and D.W. Griffith actually was the 4th owner. However, he did die while he owned Blantyre, and his widow sold it.
Oh.
But he loved it. He wanted to make it a Hollywood of the East.
Well, it's pretty fabulous, and I cannot wait to see inside.
Thank you. We are so happy you're here.
Thank you. Let's go in and discover this unusual hotel with owner Anne Fitzpatrick Brown, who's going to create a Victorian dinner party based on an actual Edith Wharton dinner party. This should be quite an experience. You know, I can't cook, but I can set a table. And this is for the French designers who have come here. And so this is going to be an Edith Wharton inspired table setting. And I'm really curious to know, how did Edith Wharton set a table, and why did you decide to follow her lead in creating this beautiful table?
Well, she is an example for all of us in so many ways, and it's just becoming more and more evident with her books and her letters. And we were able to come across a historic photograph, and nothing is more wonderful than trying to follow a historic photograph.
Now tell me why we have the mirror.
Edith Wharton loved mirrors in rooms and on tables, and this was something I had never done personally. And then I love it. I love having a mirror on the table, as I do in a room.
I think it adds a lot. And then on top of the mirror, we're going to put this magnificent flower arrangement. These are beautiful. Now, how is this Edith Wharton like?
Very Edith Wharton. She would have put the roses in a glass bowl or a silver bowl on top of a mirror, and only one type of flower.
Well, Anne, you have some beautiful plates over here. Oh,
Thank
my
you.
gosh. Now, one of the things that I saw when I was in your china closet, which I was invited, I wasn't just poking around, but you have beautiful china. And one of the tips that I just found fascinating is that you have this paper plate.
I know, thank goodness. Because if you don't put that paper plate down after years of using these wonderful, precious things that you can never find anymore, you have a little damage mark if you don't use it.
Oh.
And we didn't use these until about 5 years ago.
It's such
and
a
I wish
great
someone had said,
touch. I've seen, my grandmother actually had felt rings in between each of hers. So now we're going to set a place setting here. And we have lots and lots of beautiful silver. Where did this silver come from?
well, this is a set of my mother's, and this is an old Tiffany set called Olympia. And each specific item has a different mythological scene, so it's really special.
It's just stunning.
And I love using my mother's things.
Isn't it? Then tell me about your napkins, how you do your napkins.
Well, this is called a bishop's hat or a bishop's mitre. And we took it from little snippets from Edith Wharton and also from Madame Bovary.
Oh, nice.
A French book.
Well, how great. I mean, it's perfect reference. Now, I love to set a table, but I've never done one with all this historical reference. I kind of do it with what I have around. But it's nice to know the history and to be able to tell that to your dinner guest. Now, you have some beautiful crystal glasses here.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, tell me, why do we have so many glasses?
Well, this is Saint Louis French, and these are beautiful. These
These
love
are
these.
gorgeous.
I love these, and I have to say, my wonderful staff, we still have as many as we started with, which is extraordinary because you know they're very.
Well,
very
you have a fabulous commercial kitchen, and I see all these precious glasses and things back there.
and they're so
you must have a
careful.
great staff.
We have a great staff. We
And
have a great
so
staff.
this one is going to be used for what?
Water.
Water. Okay, right there. And then this beautiful piece.
Pinot Gris from Alsace in France.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then we have these wonderful classic wine glasses.
We're opening up a wonderful 1982 Imperial of Bordeaux.
Ooh, are you fancy
so that
or what?
will be wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
We're very excited about it. All of this. We're excited about all of this.
And this?
And this is a white Burgundy that we're opening up from France.
Very nice. Now, also notice that these don't all match. So, I mean, don't get hung up that you've got to have the china that matches to this. These are all opulent, but certainly the opulence is not in the fact that it all matches and goes together. It's whatever you happen to have. And then, how is this Edith Wharton?
Oh, well, this was a great surprise. In this historic photograph, she placed 4 of these with the candle shades, which...
Beautiful. So 4
great
of those
fun.
around a round table with this wonderful candle shade.
And she would have had metal. We
Yes.
have paper now, but she would have had
Well, I
metal.
can't wait to see. I'm sure that this is going to be magical and romantic when it's lit with that gorgeous shade on it. I cannot wait till tonight, Anne.
Be fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill.
Lots of great tips for setting an opulent table, and a historic one as well. It's not just the decor that evokes the time of Edith Wharton, but also the food. And Chef Christopher Brooks is creating something special for the evening's guest.
Today we're going to be making some duck confit, which is a way of actually curing and preserving food. Confit means to be cooked in its own juices and fat. So it's a very simple recipe, actually. We start here with some kosher salt, which is equal quantities of kosher salt and dark brown sugar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some fresh thyme and also some star anise, some black pepper and some coriander seed. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix that up. This is very classic cure. We've changed it a little bit to use the dark brown sugar. And then what we are going to do is we're going to take our duck leg and we're just going to cover that with the cure, and that is going to sit in the overnight for about 12 hours really. And then after that, now you'll be ended up with something which looks like this. We've patted dry and washed the cure off this, and then what we're going to do is we have some duck fat here, and this piece of duck will actually slow cook in this oil for about 5 or 6 hours until it falls off the bone, and then it's ready to go. And this is going to be part of the dish we're going to be serving tonight with duck breast, asparagus, baby carrots, and croquet potatoes.
I tried this duck and it was delicious. Chef Christopher Brooks' historic dishes and simple yet elegant plating completes Anne's Victorian picture-perfect table. The lobster, the salad, and everything tasted as good as it looked. Well, now Chris Brooks is going to teach me how to make Roman punch. It's not actually Roman, is it? Because it really came from President Rutherford B. Hayes in 1876 in the White House when his wife, the First Lady, did not want any alcohol served in the White House. So how did they decide to disguise the alcohol?
Well, I believe they disguised it with the citrus juice and some tea. So what we're going to do is we have a little lemon zester here.
Yep.
We're just going to zest the lemon juice here, or the lemon.
Great.
And this is a nice tool for the kitchen.
Love that.
Okay. And then we're going to take the juice with the lemon. Squeeze that in.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Squeeze that in like that. And we've also got some already here. This is about equal quantities of lemon and orange.
So lemon and orange.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Orange.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then this is just brewed black tea.
Brewed black tea, we know how I like
made by
that.
a Brit.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Okay, and then this is the fun stuff. I believe that we have to have champagne in there.
Champagne,
Yeah.
okay.
And then some cognac.
Okay, I've already got a problem. I don't have this in my kitchen, and I don't have a blender, but I'm gonna get one. Okay, go ahead.
And then what we're gonna do is just we're gonna pour this into the orange, so it's like a little slush puppy.
So you have a frozen orange that's been hollowed out.
Yeah.
And this is actually the way Edith Wharton loved to serve this.
Correct.
Well, that is really quite beautiful. And tasty, too. Very good. This has been a great time in the Berkshires, a place that's new to me and a great discovery, where artists have been creating beautiful things for a century. I'm Bill Stubbs, hoping you find your moment of luxury today. For more information on anything else you've seen in today's episode, head to our website.
Another secret to uncover, a garden walk, a quiet talk, an ancient tapestry. Just look, you'll find your treasure and joy beyond all measure when you find your moment of luxury.
Moment of Luxury is sponsored in part by GalleryFurniture.com. For over 28 years, Gallery Furniture has delivered furniture, Tempur-Pedic premium sleep sets, and home electronics across the country and across the world. Gallery Furniture is here for you.